And we're back. We're back.
Again.
And we're going to just talk really.
He just waxed his arm.
Just wax. It's not happening. It's, no, it's not going to do it. There's no such thing as peer pressure. No, not for me. We're going to talk about.
Like a little square. Like a little square, and then I'll do a square.
First of all, my arms are not that hairy.
Neither are mine, so it won't even hurt.
So I'm not doing it because what's the point?
Oh, it'll be fun.
There's a lot of things I could do for fun. Tequila shots are fun.
No, they're not. They give you hangovers, and then the next day you feel like throwing up.
For some of us,
waxing
maybe.
is fun. And then you know what? When you do it, then you're gonna just go, feel how smooth that is. You just go up to some girl.
Okay, it's summertime, and I'm trying to get some dates, so I don't think that's.
Yeah.
That's
hey girl.
That's
feel how smooth that is, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, that's known to get a bunch of women. Yeah, that women really like that.
I would like that.
I mean, clean shaven is one thing, but like totally shaven. No.
It's a square.
No.
A square.
Okay. Cruz's dating advice. Do not listen to a woman when she's giving you dating advice. You will stay single for the rest of your life. Anyway.
Hey, this is not the rest of my life. So.
Yeah, the rest of my life if I listen to you. Anyway.
So,
we're gonna talk.
That's not what we're talking about, though. What we're talking about is
the reveal that the Sulu character in the upcoming Star Trek Beyond will be revealed to be a gay character.
But George Takei's like, honey.
That's the weird thing is that on one hand, they say they're doing this to honor George Takei, who is again very well known not only for the genre for this series, for being very well known in the
It's
LGBT.
like when you look up gay, it's George Takei's face.
And social media might as well be because he is big on Facebook and Twitter.
He is. I love that man.
Everybody loves that guy on just social media in general, but again, he speaks very much as he is part of the LGBT community.
As he should be, yeah.
So the fact that they said they want to do this as a nod to him, but interestingly enough, he says no. He said interested that in a sense that goes against Gene Roddenberry's original creation in terms of it was already, as you saw, diverse enough, which was very groundbreaking for that time. So to make him a gay character, he says that's not what he was. And again, that was one of my first things. I said, well, not that one precludes the other. I said, but wasn't in one of the movies it was revealed that Sulu had a daughter who was part of Starfleet at this point?
And I just want to chime in really quick. I've never seen Star Trek.
Okay, that's okay. We'll break you in just like I broke you in.
I'm so sorry.
Hey, I got you into watching Star Wars. I can get you into watching Star Trek.
Sure.
Yeah, watch the original series. Just watch that. It's on Netflix.
The original?
The original series. It's all on Netflix.
Is it really?
Oh, all of them is on Netflix.
All right.
Later years.
After I shave my.
Yeah. Do it while you watch it. Get your daughters to do it. Get your daughter to do it for you, or your son. Maybe he can get you to do it. But
maybe he'll do it to my dog. I'm just kidding. I would never do that to an animal.
It's PCA.
Only to him.
Peter will be. I would choke the hell out of you. I will Vulcan pinch the shit out of you before I let you do that stuff.
Okay.
Anyway, that was the thing he did. George Takei says it goes against with the original creation of what George was Roddenberry's vision.
He feels like they're just being disrespectful to the actual creator.
And I kind
of understand him.
I
kind of get him.
No, actually, that was a funny thing because I didn't remember an interview with George Takei, and he said to Gene, should we not introduce a gay character back during the original series of the 60s? And Roddenberry Roddenberry says, well, listen, what we're doing is already groundbreaking enough as it is, and we're already getting heat for like the few things we do talk about and introduce, and as well as having like
but I mean, it was the 60s.
Yeah.
This is 2016, so
yeah,
the LGBT community is a lot. It's not viewed upon like the way it was in the 60s, where it's like if you were gay, you needed to be cured or something.
Right.
You know, so I kind of understand where maybe he wanted to be heard then, but feels like he's already being heard now.
And actually,
maybe
his thought was that they should introduce a brand new character that happened to be gay.
Okay.
Now,
and not just make his
make his character gay. So again, I get it, and again, I know Simon Pegg came back and he co-wrote the film, and of course he played Scotty.
Simon Pegg said,
he says,
yes, we did.
He said, with all due respect, I think to do that, he thought that, strangely enough, that if we did introduce
he says, are you mad?
He said, if we introduced a separate gay character, that would be tokenism. That's what his thought was. And again, I see...
You know, but at the same... And then Simon Pegg we know he's an incredible writer.
Yeah, he's a very good writer.
He's incredible. I mean, I love all his movies. I don't care. They're very, similar notes, but it's still very. He does creative things, and he's good.
Again, he's co-writing it, and again, this thing is being directed by one of the guys who did Fast, Furious, whatever the ones were. So again,
and you want me to watch this? This is what you want me to watch?
I didn't say that. I said watch the original series.
All right, I'm not watching no. Okay.
So again,
honey.
So I do have sort of like I could get where. I definitely get where George Takei is coming from. And
I do too.
I see that, and I see kind of why not introduce it? Because I said, and I actually on Facebook I said it to my friends. So would that imply that Sulu had been a closeted gay man this entire time? And they said because
really okay. So
because to your point, in the future. And I said, in the future, would a gay person need to be closeted? Said, and my friend said, well, he probably wouldn't be closeted. Just to say that it wouldn't be, it just hasn't come up so far. His sexuality never came up. I said, that's kind of weird that it wouldn't come up.
What's the timeline in Star Trek? Is it similar to the Earth's timeline, or is it like a Doctor Who type of shit?
It's definitely Earth's timeline.
So then this Star Trek is in 2016. Or is it like
no? It's this Star Trek.
Or is it 3000?
20 like the 24th century, 25th century.
Okay,
that sort of thing, but still
like Futurama-ish.
Yeah, basically. Well, Futurama is like much further.
Yeah, it's 3000.
Yeah, so this is like 24th, 25th century at this point, and and I said, would a gay character? I said to my friend, would a gay character at this point be closeted? And my other buddy said, well, he probably wouldn't be closeted. He said like his sexuality just never came up. I said, I don't know if that would be necessarily true.
In the year 24?
I'd say 24th century. I said something like that. It would have popped up. Maybe
at that point in time, it's one of those things that nobody talks about because nobody cares about it anymore because it's just so open.
Right. Like
that it's just like.
Right. I mean,
like nobody talks about people with red hair. Like it's not a thing, you know.
I mean, the only time I've ever seen in a sci-fi show where a person's sexual orientation came up as being not straight was in a show series called Babylon 5, which you may have never seen. And one of the characters, it just came up that she was a bisexual character. Mm-hmm. It was kind of like, okay, it just came up every so often, just like there was the guy who was a security chief was an atheist, which that was actually different because I've never really seen where the person who was like an atheist would be shown as in the genre though. It just never popped up.
And they always make us look really bad.
Actually, in that one, he wasn't. He was actually pretty cool. He just said, "I just don't believe in God," and that was the thing. It was never where anybody wanted to debate him. He just said,
"Yeah, just kind of like
it just
clean to the point,
right?" Or just like
no detail.
Or the aforementioned bisexual character. It just was like, oh, she was bisexual. The character just happened to be bisexual, and she was also Jewish, which again I was like, oh, never thought of it. She's a Jewish character. Big deal.
Yeah.
It was never a big thing for me, but this is Star Trek where they've talked about, again, should you ever watch the original series, they touched upon a lot of things dealing with race, dealing with arms race.
Is it true that was like the first show that this showed like a black man and a black woman and a white man kissing?
Yeah.
Is that true?
That's very true. Yes, that was
William Shatner?
William Shatner and Nichelle Nichols doing the first interracial kiss.
What? Really?
Which again, when I watched this,
what year was this?
This is like 60.
Whoa! This is from the 60s?
It's from the 60s.
I thought it was like the 70s.
No.
I remember it being on TV when I was a kid.
Right, they repeated it at that point.
Like Gilligan's Island.
Yeah, but if you ever see that episode, when you do see it, the kiss was just very kind of. I was like, even as a kid when I watched it, I didn't know it was like the first interracial kiss. Mm-hmm. But I remember watching it as a kid. I said, just the way it was shot.
Was it like super old school Hollywood where they just go?
No, not even. The setup was
like Clark Gable type
the setup
shit?
Was that they were forced to kiss.
They wanted it.
Well, that was the behind the scenes. They said like William Shatner made them do numerous reshoots or retakes.
I heard about that. I did read about that,
Yeah.
or read about it somewhere, but I did hear about that.
Yeah, they like to do numerous retakes.
I also read that William Shatner's face is what they used for what's his face.
Michael Myers.
Yeah.
Yeah, they took one of his they took one of his masks and turned it backwards and used it and they painted it for Mike Myers for Halloween.
That's awesome.
The movie fucked me up when I was a kid, but
never saw them.
Okay, you don't need to see it. Actually,
I'm a Freddy Krueger type of girl.
Actually, that one is worth seeing. Even the Rob Zombie version is very good.
Okay, I'll check those
That
out.
Rob Zombie version is very good.
But I was always a Freddy Krueger kind of girl. I never really got into the goalie or William Shatner face.
Oh, you mean Jason from
the angry goalie or William Shatner face.
Angry goalie.
I never really got into them. I was always a Freddy Krueger kind of girl.
Right. Well, he had personality. That's why.
Yeah.
The other guys.
He's a comedian like me.
Right, but
you know?
we're getting off topic. But reel it back in.
All right. So
again, you know what? There's a part of me like it doesn't faze me. I mean, the only thing about it, some say, okay, here's the way we can like make this work. And the fact that, and I said to some guy, and again, one doesn't preclude the other, is the fact that in one of the Star Trek films, it was revealed, again, like I said, that Sulu has a daughter. Okay. So, and they said, well, and the question came up, when did Sulu have time to have a family? So I said, okay, he can have a daughter.
You don't need, but, to make a baby.
Right, and I said,
you don't need time.
And even I said, like, one doesn't preclude the other. He could still be a gay man and still have
Absolutely.
a family. He still could have had a family at that point.
Absolutely.
But I said, but it was implied.
Depending.
Depending
on the timeline, he would have been with a female
around the time from the original series, but they didn't know about it. So that was the thing. So like, that was the thing that's even.
Is that how it's going to be written?
Well,
you don't know yet.
They never really quite addressed it because this is the thing that back when that movie came out, there was a thought that even I think George Takei wanted to have a series of films where he got to be, because again at this point he was a captain of his own ship at this point, have them do a series of films where he is the captain of his own ship, because again during the he was. The way they could kind of get around this and say that those two things can still kind of still work is the fact that with these new series of films it's an alternate timeline, because what had happened in the first Star Trek film of this recent series is that an event happened where some Romulans came back in time, and
I don't know what that is, but
they're like Vulcans, but like
I don't know what that is.
Spock's people.
Okay.
But these are unlike Spock's people that are kind of suppress their emotions. These people who are Romulans.
Sounds like my family.
Okay.
Just kidding.
Yeah, but these people are actually the complete opposite, where they have been very violent. They embraced, in a sense, they were kind of like the Vulcans used to be very violent at one point until they embraced this philosophy of logic, meaning they suppress all their emotions. The Romulans, on the other hand, are the total opposite. They're like, we're militaristic, we're emotional, all this other stuff.
Okay.
In the first film that J.J. Abrams has started is that these Romulans came back in time at the point, several points in time, including a point where they attacked the ship that Kirk's father was the second in command of, and this is the point where Kirk was born on the ship. They attacked that ship in a sense, creating an alternate timeline that split off from what had happened in the original series. So they said we've created, in a sense, a different timeline. So we can have one where maybe in this universe from the original series, Sulu is a straight man, where in this one, Sulu is a gay man. That was one of the kind of explanations one of my friends came up with and said, okay, that could kind of sort of work, but whatever. Because I really liked the first Star Trek film, the one that came out in 2009, the one that came out afterwards with Benedict Cumberbatch played the character of Khan. Sucked to me. This one...
Are you excited about it?
I don't know.
Whoa, what was that sound?
I don't know. I mean, I guess it's because after the last one, again, since you haven't watched the original series and...
But still, I mean,
yeah.
Was the last one a disappointment?
Yeah, well, first of all, the reason why it disappointed me, and again, was because there was the Benedict Cumberbatch character was introduced. And most of the fans, because of like things were going on in the internet, were saying, is this the character of Khan? The Khan character that was played by Ricardo Montalban from the original series and from Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. And they said, is Benedict Cumberbatch playing Khan? And every time they on a red carpet, they said, nope, he's playing Khan. Turned out he was Khan. Now, that pissed off a lot of fans. Nothing against Cumberbatch and the way he played the part, is that the Khan character, at least the way he's written, is a Sikh Indian. Now, the fact that you had Ricardo Montalban, who's a Mexican-American actor, play the part back then, that was groundbreaking in and of itself. So again, it was the whole whitewashing thing. You had a character named Khan, played by a British guy.
Like, they don't get whiter than that.
Yeah, well, Icelandic, but yeah, that's if he was like Nordic. Yeah. Although ironically, the way, we're definitely getting off topic, the way that character was originally conceived when Roddenberry wrote it, he was supposed to be like sort of this Nordic sort of Viking type of guy. Although from the future, as part of this whole eugenics kind of, let's try to speed up evolution sort of thing to create these Supermen. So his whole original thing was he was going to be sort of this Nordic guy until he switched up and said, hey, let's make him a Sikh Indian. So there were no, I guess, prominent Indian actors at the time that he could have got to play it. So let's get Mexican actor Ricardo Montalban to play the part in the Space Seed episode from the original series, and then done extremely well in when they brought him back for the original series of films in Star Trek II. So when the last film came out and Cumberbatch plays the character, I was like, okay, he was good, but the whole thing that people stuck in their heads is that you did the whitewashing thing again. You got a guy whose name is Khan, you got him played by a British guy.
Yeah,
exactly.
I hear you.
Again, if you saw the first film, I liked the first film, even though it did deviate from the original series.
Yeah, but it's its own thing.
Its own
we all know that the shows is always different from the films.
Right, but even then, even the films that were done, like from Star Trek 1 filmed through, I think it got up to 6 at this point, before Abrams took over the franchise. I said, okay, they took some chances with this one.
We know J.J. Abrams.
Yeah, I mean,
love him, brilliant, but god damn it,
he has his moments where he does good. I mean, I liked. Again, he did the last Star Wars movie. That was him. Mm-hmm. So I said, all right. So he can do some good stuff. So I was like, all right, I saw.
But we do know that the last Star Wars movie was very similar to A New Hope.
Right. So again, it gets into what we talked about in our previous clip about how, sometimes taking chances is a good thing, but you can sometimes fall on your ass, much like in the Star Trek franchise, the episodes 1 through 3, where George Lucas tried to do something different and didn't quite work for a lot of fans. And Abrams played it safe, and I said, okay, played it safe.
But you know what? I absolutely love it. And I'm actually that was kind of like, that's just a joke. It's actually not a critique.
Right.
I like that he kind of like
played it safe. Yeah.
He played it safe, and he kept a very similar formula.
Yeah.
I mean, it was great. It was funny.
So with this reveal about Sulu being gay,
how big of a deal is this for the story?
It may not be as big a thing for the story.
I mean, is it like a big deal? Like, oh, his shirt's green instead of yellow or something?
No, you probably piss off. There's some people who are so diehard about stuff. You could do something like introduce a character there are characters wearing green shirts, but if you did something like that where Kirk's wearing like a green shirt.
Oh,
or no,
is that a thing?
No, or like wearing, say, like a white shirt or something like that. That would probably piss some people off.
Really? Why? What's with the shirts?
Color shirts imply rank and designation. So if you're like wearing, I mean, of course,
so that's actually important.
Yeah. So like if you,
not a good analogy.
Yeah. So it's kind of like there's that. Of course, if you like watch Star Trek, if you wear a red shirt and you go down to the planet, you're dead.
Really?
Oh yeah, that's definitely a thing. If you've ever seen, you never saw. There was a thing actually that happened in the first film, where they had to do like I forget what it is when you actually like you jump out from space, almost like from the stratosphere.
Mm-hmm.
What would they call it? Where you're not doing skydiving, but it's whatever they call it, and they're doing it from kind of like from
like base jumping.
Yeah, but from stratosphere level. And there was Kirk, and there was Sulu, and there was a guy who named I can't remember, and he was wearing a red shirt.
And he died.
Oh God, yeah, he died.
Ugh.
Badly.
Well, I'll check it out and see, and get back to you guys and let you know.
Yeah, I mean, in the grand scheme of things,
I might not like
this is like a blip in the news from last week, as far in the genre that is. Is it noteworthy enough? I don't know how it's going to impact on it in the grand scheme of things. there are people who are like the diehard fans who don't like see any kind of deviation in their characters as they
But
see
you got some things you got to change a little bit. I mean, you got to adapt them.
Yeah, some things you got to adapt.
You can't just leave shit one note.
Yeah, like to me, it doesn't bother me. I mean, only time again, my only response was like, really, you're making them gay? So what about all the other stuff they implied? I even said I was even about to say there was even an episode. It was a really good one. If you ever get to see it, called Mirror Mirror.
Okay.
It was where some of the crew from the Enterprise were teleported to a parallel universe. In this universe, the Federation is all evil.
Oh.
Including, and at one point, Sulu, the Sulu character, his evil counterpart, was all on Uhura. He wanted to get with her, which kind of was rare to see because you never saw Asian men as sexual beings at all. Not really.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you had to think about it, and I thought about it on the way here, name Asian American actors that you can think of right now that have been seen as romantic leads.
John Cho.
And I'll wait.
My mom says my dad's smoking hot, and he's Asian.
Okay, but we're talking about in the film. Again, I could think of in my life 2 actors who were at one point or were perceived as being sort of sexy in their own way.
Keanu Reeves.
He's Asian-ish.
Aziz Ansari.
Indian again, really?
That's Asian.
Yeah, but as a male lead,
Yeah,
romantic
absolutely.
lead. Name a movie. Name a movie who's a romantic lead.
Master of None.
That was his this little the little thing he did on Netflix. You mean the Netflix?
The guy from Harold and Kumar.
Cal Penn. Really? No. I can name 2 guys that come to mind. At least were seen as sexy,
okay,
or these sexual beings. Bruce Lee.
Really?
I knew a lot of women who who said, okay, first of all, you never saw
I mean, he's awesome, but I don't want
but prior to that, did you ever see they never were seen as strong male characters?
Mm-mm.
Right, and I'll say actor Russell Wong at one point. There was a period of time when he was.
What about Chow Yun Fat?
That would have been the closest one afterwards. Chow Yun Fat, but again, he was initially as an action star.
But he was in Eat, Drink, Man, Woman, right?
No,
the Joy Luck Club. The Joy Luck Club.
Not him. That was Russell Wong was in Joy Luck Club.
Fuck, what movie am I thinking of then?
He was in The King and I.
That's right.
The King and I.
God, I was fucking stupid as hell.
Right, but again, again, that was the only time I ever saw the Sulu character as an Asian actor as being, although he had to be evil to be sort of sexually aggressive,
mm-hmm.
which I thought was interesting. But up until then, you never saw that. And I even saw there was a skit that they did on.
Honestly?
There were a lot of women who loved. Well, I'll say that there was the only time when you saw a strong male Asian lead in a film. Again, yeah, it was kung fu movies, but prior to that, Asian men were not seen as being strong male characters.
Bruce Lee, though?
Okay, let's flip it around. How many female Asian women have you seen that would be seen as sort of sexual beings or as
Kelly Hu,
Lucy Liu, say Jamie Chung.
Mm-hmm.
That's just modern ones. I can go way back to where we've seen Asian female actresses being.
Yeah, but in general, women are always sexualized. Come on.
But ironically, they did not have Asian male love interests in those movies or in their TV shows.
That's true.
Which is again shows how, in a sense, and I even saw an old skit of In Living Color, where they did the thing where kind of playing on the whole Wrath of Khan thing was more the Wrath of Farrakhan.
I think I saw that.
And the Sulu character said to Kirk, said, "Man, every time we go to a planet, you get all the girls, and I never get anything."
I think I remember that.
And I thought about it. I said, "That's true. You never did see Sulu with anyone again, barring that aforementioned episode where he again was his evil counterpart wanted to get with Uhura."
So maybe that's how he had the baby with the evil counterpart.
Who knows? But that's the only time we ever saw. And again, when he had a daughter, I said, "Oh, we never ever addressed the fact that Sulu would have had a love life or a band." Because I think all the other characters, at least at one time or another, at least had some sort of romantic interest. From Chekhov, Scotty did, McCoy, all of them, even Spock, who was again probably the most non-sexual character from having quote unquote no emotions. He had more women who were interested in him, maybe because of the whole unavailability thing, but not Sulu. So now we have Sulu, who's now going to be a gay man. Again, does it bother me? No. Again, it's just different. But again, I find it interesting that the guy who is such an advocate for the gay community.
But just because he's an advocate for the gay community doesn't mean that he wants his character to be
right,
gay.
Right.
I just feel like that shouldn't be part of the connection that needs to be made for his opinion.
And I guess that's the thing is like from his, again, he knew Gene Roddenberry and he wanted to introduce like gay characters back then. It just never happened.
Mm-hmm.
And they've addressed they did a really good episode in Star Trek: The New Generation where they did have issue with dealing with sexuality in one of their episodes.
Mm-hmm.
To have a gay character now I don't know. It's funny
honestly, I don't think people will care.
There's some who really don't care. Now, it's funny that, like, in a sense, Simon Pegg says that to introduce a quote-unquote new character would be tokenism, but wouldn't making Sulu gay be the exact same thing?
Not in his eyes, and he's the writer, so...
Yeah. But
I mean, maybe, but I guess him doing it, if he doesn't see it,
I guess it depends on, like, how it plays out.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm more...
Well, I'm rooting for the movie. I'm really hoping
I'm hoping the movie, in a sense, undoes what was done from the last movie, which, again, I saw, I was like, But I just thought it was, like, kind of an interesting thing. The fact that, like, it was interesting. The same day I found out about John Cho announced that Sulu was going to be a gay character, that Takei says, I really wasn't feeling that. I said, wow, that's different. I said, that's interesting since Takei being the person that he is, the fact that he was kind of like, nah. And again, I can see both sides of the conversation about this.
Right.
I can definitely see it. It doesn't bother me as a fan because I was always a fan of the original series, the movies, and the like. I'm not one of those either or Star Trek over or Star Wars. I mean, there's some people who fall clearly into either camp.
I didn't even know that happened.
That is a thing. There are people who are diehard Star Trek fans who think that it's better than Star Wars. Mm-hmm. Then you can have the Doctor Who fans who don't give a crap about the other two.
Mm-hmm.
If it's well done, I like all of them. That's me. I mean, I can watch a Star Trek movie. I can watch a Star Wars related property. I can watch Doctor Who stuff. I just like the genre in general. I don't have to pick. It's not like for me. It's not a religion. I don't have to like pick one over the other.
Right.
So, whatever.
All right. Well,
that's our 2 cents, and at least my 2 cents. And again, once you watch, if I get you watching the original series, yeah, I've done it before. I've got people hooked on shows before, so you'll be. I got you to watch Star Wars.
You did get me to watch Star Wars. That was good.
Again, watch the original series. You'll see what I mean. So. That's it. That's our 2 cents on the Sulu. He's gay. That's it. That's 2 cents. Two Lincolns. That's it. So
we're gonna wax him next time, you guys. Just his arm, just a square.
And all of you, I would say, don't wait to exhale. I'd say, you better breathe, because
fine.
You're not
we'll
gonna
do 2 squares.
You do 2 squares. You got 2 legs.
Just a little square.
Just do a little.
They'll love it.
Your underarms. Do that.
Okay.
Your underarms.
I'll do it. But you gotta pull, because I can't do it alone.
No.
It's gonna hurt.
This is why we give you like a shot of tequila for that. Anyway.
Fine, I'll take tequila.
Take your tequila shots.
Fine, if you insist.
I insist.
All right.
That's it, and that's.
You guys have fun today.
And that's it for the factory today. So take care, guys. Peace.